Morgan Stanley is evaluating whether or not to add Bitcoin ETFs to their brokerage. Will they do so? We're going to talk about that today on the Blockhash podcast channel. So welcome back, guys. Make sure to check out our sponsor, Bump Social. They're building a revolutionary social media platform that is on the iOS and Android store pretty soon. They'll be adding in all kinds of cool features for users, creators, brands, advertisers, you name it. So make sure to check them out. All their information is in the description for the episode down below. So make sure to go there to get more information. Also, be sure to join the channel. The Blockhash podcast now has structured membership tiers on YouTube. If you guys want access to more exclusive content, starting at just a couple dollars a month. Basic level obviously is about the cup of coffee. Same thing with boss level, legend, Giga Chad. You get all kinds of different access to episodes before they come out, exclusive videos and interviews, as well as content that will be rolling out pretty soon. So make sure to do that if you want to support the channel. All right, so I'm going to give you my thoughts as always on this relevant article, and then actually we'll go through it first. We'll talk about what's going on, then I'll give you my thoughts at the very end. But want to cover this in particular, given the fact that the Ethereum ETFs are coming out relatively soon. So it's important to note where all these ETFs are going to be traded, and if some of the biggest brokerages in the world will also be catering to both Bitcoin ETFs and Ethereum ETFs. So Wall Street giant Morgan Stanley is in the midst of performing due diligence to add spot Bitcoin ETF products to its brokerage platform, according to two people with knowledge of the matter. One of the people said Morgan Stanley, which is among the largest U.S. broker-dealer platforms, has been evaluating offering spot Bitcoin ETFs to clients since the Securities and Exchange Commission approved their introduction in the U.S. in January. Although billions of dollars have already been invested in these products, the investment floodgates might not open until the Bitcoin ETFs are offered by big registered investment advisor networks, RIAs, and broker-dealer platforms such as those attached to firms like Merrill Lynch, Morgan Stanley, Wells Fargo, and others. Keep in mind, those haven't been done yet. Once that happens, you're going to see an even bigger influx than you've already seen for Bitcoin ETFs and ETFs across crypto space. There are 10 spot Bitcoin ETFs now trading in the US. The ones with the most assets are Grayscale, BlackRock, and Fidelity, of course. And it's not clear which one or ones Morgan Stanley is looking to offer to its clients. Morgan Stanley is a leader in the alternative investments and private market space with over $150 billion in assets under management for themselves alone, and was the first major U.S. bank to offer its wealthy clients access to Bitcoin funds in 2021. The bank confirmed during its first quarter earnings call in April 2021 that it was offering its wealth management clients exposure to Bitcoin via a pair of external crypto funds. And the wealth management firm's former CFO, Jonathan Pruzan, said at the time the bank was allowing qualified investors to gain access to two passive funds. It is understood that these funds were offered by Galaxy Digital and NYDIG. Pruzan said, 3 years ago, as we see more interest, we'll work with regulators to provide services we think are appropriate. So, going back to this a little bit, like if we look at BlackRock, for example, with Larry Fink, he's come out recently and he said many times, obviously that's why they're offered a Bitcoin ETF, and he's very bullish on tokenization across the crypto space, and they're building out a platform with Coinbase, doing all these things. They already loaded up $100 million in funding for it, but he's made it pretty clear that this Bitcoin ETF is outperforming any ETF in history, including the gold ETF, and that the time horizon for this growth to start really exploding is shrinking in a good way. On top of that, you're seeing tremendous amounts of inflows into these ETFs ever since January. The first quarter of this year has been insane already, without these broker dealers like Morgan Stanley already being on board. So you get them on board, you get other banks, other institutions to start offering it on their brokerage platforms. You're opening up a massive market for this to be a very strong long-term asset. And you're also putting Bitcoin into a potential liquidity crisis with the halving coming up and all this Bitcoin being held by these asset managers. We're likely to see prices do something absolutely crazy and astronomical. And I think a lot of these players like Morgan Stanley know that, and they want a piece of that. And that's why there's a big push, I think, for them to get involved, whether they fully endorse or like crypto or not. I also think this will be a catalyst for other cryptos like Ethereum. BlackRock has been very adamant, Larry Fink in particular, about Ethereum getting approved as an Ethereum ETF, despite Gensler not really knowing what to classify it as and having this campaign to go after the Ethereum Foundation. I think things are lining up very well going into April, and these ETFs have definitely opened up new doors, and it's changed the landscape quite a bit. It's not the same crypto market in 2021. This isn't purely retail driven anymore. This is more balanced, and we've yet to see retail truly pour in, I think. But the institutional side is only going to make retail even more explosive. That's how I look at it. So let me know what you guys think. Comment your thoughts down below on Morgan Stanley's approach here, adding spot Bitcoin ETFs to their brokerage and maybe adding some others as well as other asset managers and institutional custody, banks. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure to like and subscribe. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And if you have, thank you so much. And we'll see you on the next episode. Cheers.